Hi guys, Spink here. This is episode 10 of my Let's Learn AGEOD Civil War 2. Let's see, where did we end up? We had just done all of our movement for late August 61, which I think is maybe all of turn 3 here. So we need to be looking at our production. Let's kind of take a look, see if there's anything we missed and didn't talk about. I think I missed this tab when we were looking through the messages. I don't think there's anything of particular of great imports. It's just a few of the guys, our training messages and anybody that may have received a regiment of reinforcement or something. Here's something that popped up here during the turn that I didn't talk about. I suppose I probably should. Actually, last turn I believe it came up, where this region has been pillaged, and I think what that is if you look at our army, it's at 84%. 84% on its supply. So I think what happened was at the beginning of the supply phase, he had this unit had some supply need to get back to 100%, and since we didn't control this area or control the depot or anything like that, it represents the foraging of our forces in here before we made it out of there. So this unit here, or this region, has been pillaged, which is going to decrease the production of this area for a while until that recovers. So that's what that is. Let's see, we talked about what's going on out over here. So I think we're ready to do the production. Okay, if we look, our rail points now, it was our river points was one that was a little low last time, and now our rail points are a little low. So we must be moving a few more by rail, a few more troops, and maybe we have some more. Maybe we have more supply being moved around here. So that's something we're gonna wanna pop up if we can. I don't think we can. I think that's a thing that we can only do every 6 months or so. I don't see any need for us to raise any more money, at least not right now. We'll see next turn how we're doing. We did a build on this. Okay, so I think we're just ready for standard building here. Yeah, it's a okay. I'm going to hit the F11 key, which brings up the build menu. So I'm going to check to see if we have any of those guys to build. We don't. We built a lot of infantry last turn out east. I think we still need more infantry out here because our infantry just got shredded here. And I didn't build any more artillery in that last build. And my thinking on that was that we still have quite a lot of artillery here. So once we're able to start making divisions, I generally like to throw 2 batteries into each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is a big one there. So maybe we'll build more infantry and some more artillery out here. So that's what excuse me, what I'll give a shot. Okay. So let's look at infantry, and we'll use New England this time. We kind of gave them a short shift last time. We'll use Connecticut. Now these are some pretty big brigades. 3 infantry regiments, artillery, and a cavalry. Great big early war regiments, or early war brigades. So we'll build a few of these. Oh, they really are chewing up our war supply. 3, 4. And let's see if we have any artillery we can buy. We have the 10-pounder Parrots in Connecticut, and some horse artillery. Yes, we'll build those. I'll just put them in the same place as long as we have the capability to do so. And there we go. Still have quite a bit of conscripts there. We're going to want to start building blockade flotillas. Maybe I should have built one of those instead of all this stuff. But I think our ground forces right now are definitely the part where we really need to get that back under control. Okay, so I think we are ready. Well, let me save it. We have to do our regional decisions. Let's see, are there any areas where we can actually expend victory points here to gain loyalty in a region? Martial law will let us expend a national morale and a development point to gain 20 loyalty. But that requires a combat unit to be present. You know, we do, Maryland here is still a bit of a problem. And I believe that the loyalty of the populace in these regions, that it actually impacts your production. I believe I read something about that. So let's just, as an experiment, in any case, let's do the old habeas corpus thing here in Baltimore. It's just see how that works. Well, even Washington is, where it's right in the middle of Confederateville. You know, why don't we do that too? I mean, we can't afford to have this disloyalty going on right in our backyard. So we'll put that there. Victory points, still burning through our victory points, yo. But again, you know, let's not look at it in terms of victory points. Let's look at it in terms of what we would have done at the time. You know, obviously we don't have a victory point counter worrying about that. Okay, so that is those. Anything else that we maybe want to do? Build roads, $75,000. Well, we don't even have that. Clearing starts to improve the general infrastructure. Open a trail, roads, defensive works. There's our sea mine came up again. We can do that. That's always fun. Take that sea mine and stick it right there. Unionist forces. This will probably be similar to the Confederate Copperheads. Yeah, we will create 2 militia units of white Unionists in a region's loyal to us. I assume that's what that Copperheads is, probably a counterpoint to that. So I assume that's what the Confederacy used in California here, in Southern California. So I'm sure there's probably nowhere we're going to be able to put these that's of any particular use to us. It does not cost any, it costs 5 victory points instead of costing any resources to build, so yeah, I don't think so. Partisans are slightly different. Okay, that's probably good enough. Let's oops, I didn't start my timer. Go start my timer. Okay. I'm assuming I've spent about 10 minutes yammering on maybe. Okay, next, what do we have? I believe we're just ready to, we've done our reduction. We've done all of our governmental policies. We've done our regional decisions, so I think we're ready to hit the turn here. Late August. Here we go. Oh, before we do this, let me go into the options. And I'm going to take this battle animation and I am going to pop it back one more because it does seem to go on a little more than we really need it to be. So let's hit save one more time, just cause, and we'll hit the next turn. just sit here and stare at this and have dead air, should I? Alright, we are going to have to keep an eye on what Johnston's going to do here. And also, I'm really curious to see, where did Beauregard go? I'd like to see where he pops up again. Let's see, here we go. This is the supply phase, and now we're doing it. Army of the Potomac arrived in Stafford, Virginia. Campbell's arrived at Versailles, Missouri. Oh, there he is down here now, Falmouth. Well, there looks like they're bringing units out of the Shenandoah Valley. Whoop. The Plymouth Squadron and the Patrick Henry Squadron tried to get past our blockade force. We inflicted 15 hits on theirs. They inflicted 4 on us. Probably didn't outright sink anything, but we smacked them pretty good. We should probably not have, we should be using our naval leaders. That's interesting. Okay, we can see this again down. That's East Tennessee, where our loyalty is high. That's why we're able to see that. Oh, Floyd's doing something here. And here comes Nathaniel Lyon at the Battle of Rolla. We inflicted 8, and we took more losses than them, and that's kind of to be expected because we did, maybe the assault posture, or it was probably not the assault posture. It was probably the all-out attack that we did that maybe gave us the hits. So we took some hits here. Shows cowardice. No elements routed. We didn't take any prisoners. Okay. Not too bad. So that's something when you do that all-out assault, you are gonna, or the all-out attack, that rule of engagement, you are gonna take more damage probably just due to the higher attack. And he has stayed in Jefferson City. Interesting. Okay, so now we're in early September. First thing we're going to do is go through the events. We may now build ironclads, so that's another thing we're going to want to keep in mind doing. Plenty of stuff to spend our money on all the time. We may increase our rail and river pool again, so those are definitely not that's definitely not something that shows up every 6 months. This will last for the next 6 months on average before it can be issued again. So that came up real quick again. I don't know exactly how that how that works. We're gonna have to keep an eye on there. Okay, now here's these armories they've started building. Let me make sure I hover over there so I can make sure nothing is going on this is in New York. So here it is right here, the Manhattan Firearms. And when it's done in however many turns that takes, then we're going to have that additional capacity. So the Confederacy is building new arsenals in Tennessee and Mississippi, so they're doing the same thing. Tennessee, it's a little chancy. We're going to go down there and take them. The Confederacy has decided to declare a complete cotton embargo. It's caused the foreign powers to change their opinion to plus 15 foreign entry. So now we're back up there. But we've both done our big moves for this, and now we're going to be looking more for just that little 0 to 2 points that it's going to be moving every turn. General Porter has joined McClellan's headquarters. The Irish Brigade, several brigades have formed. We may now build ironclads. Okay, battle-related ones. We are besieging Harper's Ferry. Oh, so I assume what happened here is Butterfield did not activate. So he went into a defensive posture, and that's why he did not attack Harper's Ferry. The Lexington force has successfully invaded forces, so this guy got out without getting hit again, which is probably good because Price went back in there. There's our naval battle. No national morale changed. Okay. Here's our movement. Here we go. This Dan Butterfield issued conflicting orders and reverted to a defensive stance. So again, Butler did the same thing. Okay, here's something. Union detachment suffered 2 hits from exhaustion or wear and tear in region Chesapeake Head. Right here. So we had some unit. Presumably that was one of our naval units we moved down there. And he took some hits from that. And I think that means that's a, I don't know if that's an actual strength hit or if that's a cohesion hit. Everybody arrived where they're supposed to be. Yep. Next. The Atlantic Squadron. This is our blockade squadron here in Boston that we were waiting for him to get the rest of his ships in. Here's some more general reinforcements to some brigades. We have some 3 brigades here in Harrisburg have finished their training. This is the change of control. We gained control of Jefferson City briefly. So we apparently went out. So I don't know. They had some cavalry units there. So presumably the cavalry units retreated, which gave us control. Then we retreated, and Price moved in, so they're going to take it back. So we did gain control of that, and then they captured it right back. Okay, in Rolla, Missouri down here, when we captured that depot, we gained quite a bit of supply there. So that's nice. We look at, we're sitting there with 27 supply in Rolla, which is nice. This is the system Sea Mine hit, and that gave us a changes from regional decisions there. That gave us our national morale for that. So that's something, just gaining that national morale is far more important to me than whatever damage that might cause on any Confederate ships. Attempt to perform habeas corpus was unsuccessful in Anne Arundel and in Prince George. Does that mean it was successful here? Yeah, that one. So the one in Baltimore was successful. Okay. Our new telegraph lines are still being built out east. Oh. Did they build more of these? It says Copperhead volunteers are mustered in Southern California. So is this another set, or did they die and they had a new one at the same time? I don't know. It doesn't look like there's more than one here. Transport ships did their thing. There's one raider been spotted at our merchant ship. Okay, so that is the messages. So first thing, let's probably go take a look at McDowell, see what happened with this mess of an army here. This was that unit we've been railroading from Sumner, or from Sioux City all this time. I'm going to stick that in with McClellan. Oh my, oh, okay. And now I'm going to take all of the troops out of this army stack and stick them in with McClellan. Oh, back to here. Stick them in McClellan. Hooker's force, what did we grab? Oh, I lost something somewhere. Where did McClellan go? We lost McClellan. Oh, there he is. He's right there. Just a bonehead. I just grabbed McDowell and stuck him in the army. That's what happened. There's McClellan. Okay, so we have that. Might as well stick this support unit in there for when it becomes active. We'll go into the Washington reserves, and we're going to take this hospital unit out and stick that in McClellan's group. So, do we have anybody out here that can do anything? That's if he is in command, so we're good with all those. So let me grab some more of these leaders now. We don't need all these leaders hanging out here while this is going on, so we're going to kind of disperse some of these out to some of the forces that are needing a leader. Okay, so McClellan's force here is going to start rebuilding this army. We're sitting here in a depot. We're going to put him on passive because we're in a relatively safe place, and passive is going to increase the rate at which we recover our cohesion. Being in I believe a area with higher loyalty helps you. We're not in this case. If we actually put this unit in the Washington fortifications like that, that will speed us up too. See, so now we're inside the Washington fortifications. That will increase it. So we'll leave these probably in here for a turn or two until the cohesion's up, and then we'll bring them back out into the region here so that we don't end up getting besieged in Washington. This guy got where he was supposed to. There's apparently nothing in the Shenandoah Valley at the moment, so that's actually the opposite of how it usually looks. It usually seems to me when I'm playing this that they put all of their force in the Shenandoah Valley, and I can kind of walk down to Washington. Here's that naval force I think we hit here. Okay, now our cohesion is real low on here, so we're gonna have to put these guys back into port. Anyway, that's enough looking around. Let's start getting our stuff going here. Okay. Our army we're just gonna keep there, although it has 0 force because it doesn't have anything but supply units and these leaders. Should the Confederacy come and try to besiege us or something, it's certainly possible. We don't really have the force to stop them, but their ability to supply a siege of Washington is not very good. So we'll have that going for us, and we do have some force now that we're going to be able to railroad down to Washington in any case. So let's old Win Scott, he's gonna just hang out here. Washington Reserve can't do anything. Okay, so I think we're done with them. Let's check the... Okay, so we have now got enough of the military control over these areas to be able to have them turn to our color here. What is... That's General Floyd. Is he headed out to make a little mischief? I'm thinking, again, you know, he may decide to go out and do something, but he's not going to have the supply to support any kind of a force going back there. So I think what we may do with what we have here, let's take a look at the weather. Weather is good here. The terrain, as you can see, is pretty bad, though. This is all mountain here, and you can see the move cost that shows when we put up the display for the terrain here. A nimble unit takes 10 days, so we have nimble units, average unit, and impeded unit. An impeded unit is like the supply wagons and stuff. If you look at each force, when you bring it up here, it will tell you under mobility, I think. Or is it going to tell us? Speed, fast. It's not really. Well, if let's maybe a supply unit will tell us. Yeah, he's a passability. Here we go. Passability. He is an impeded unit. The cavalry is average. This militia unit is average. So something like irregulars might be nimble. But if you look in the overview under passability, that will tell you what category each unit falls under as far as movement goes. I don't think a leader even has that. Yeah. So a unit is going to move at the speed of its slowest unit. So we do have a supply wagon here in Milroy's group. So if we were to move into this mountain impeded, it should take us about 28 days to do so. Well, 15. Oh, I understand what's going on, because let's get out of this thing. Is we have a track. See, if you see it right under where it's talking about the civilization level, wild, but it does have a track. So track, if it has a track in its a track or a road, you will follow the terrain cost for that. And I believe that's the same as the clear terrain, I believe. Let's bring that back up again. I'm not really sure how it all works out, but it's similar within that. Frontage, it tells the defensiveness, how offensive and defensiveness changes when you're different types of units in different kinds of terrain, so that can be handy. Well, let's take a look here. What do we got? We've got 2 brigades here. We've got his rather small force there. What if we were to try to sneak Milroy here back behind him to Charleston? Kanawha, or I believe it's just Kanawha is how that's pronounced. What if we were to do that? 26 days, so it would take us 50. I thought we only had... Oh, okay, so it would take us 26 days to get here. That one turn, as long as that's going to take me one turn to go here, I'm just going to go this one spot and see what we end up with. I'm going to leave him on offensive because that will help convert the military control faster. This military control is 90%. That's good enough. Our detection value here is 3, probably because of the terrain and whatnot. So we're getting a pretty low value for being able to identify what's going on there. If we take these guys and try to go here, that's a cross-river attack into hills with a unit that we don't know how strong it is. So that's probably not wise to do. So what if we were to go to here via rail, because we have our railroad. Whoa! The scroll thing gets a little crazy sometimes. And then bring him down here. So we'll make sure we're on our rail. There we go. So we're going to go by rail, day 1, day 2, and then crossing the river here will take a further 8 days, so we'll be here in 10 days to be able to block him should he be trying to do anything. And then we're going to kind of converge on this unit in Charleston. And I think what we'll do, we'll bring him, rather than doing a cross-river attack into Charleston, we'll bring him this way, so we're going to be attacking that way, whereas this guy comes in and we'll attack that way, and we'll take Charleston in the next few turns. I believe he's got a depot here. That little tent there is a depot symbol. Yeah, so we do have a depot. I don't know if we had a depot there before, but now we do. Lewis, no depot. Now I don't know if we have, as far as being able to tell what's in these towns, if our reconnaissance ability applies at all, or if we can just see. So we'll have to, I don't know about that. Let's see, there's Kentucky, we're still sitting here with nothing. Let's take a look at our, things and see if we have the ability to enter into Kentucky. Not yet. Let me see. So there's nothing really we can do up here in Kentucky. Our force in Cairo here is starting to come together. We have this is really what we're waiting for here. There's a militia brigade, so it's now we have Halleck in command of this force instead of McClernand. So now we have a 3-star general and 2 2-star generals in charge of 2 brigades, and holy cow, we don't have a penalty. But this is something that I really wanted, is this training officer of Halleck to be able to start bringing some of these skill levels up for these guys. We brought I thought we built I thought we had built that HQ unit in here, the HQ support unit. Oh, we had only had the 2 so far, so we built one in St. Louis is where the other one is. Okay. So we should be getting our supply wagons next turn. We've got our Illinois infantry starting to show up. This is some Alexander. Yeah, that's in Illinois, and then our new. Okay. So what's this one? So we still just have the 2. Okay. Gonna get all rambly here. Nothing much we're really gonna do here in this area. This guy's really starting to go down on supply. His supply's at half now, so we're gonna bring these guys back into port. Anything in particular going on here? There's that other HQ support. I'm going to go ahead and stick that in the Western Command anyway, since he's already got some fixed units there. It's not going to hurt him any. We've captured Rolla, Missouri here. We've got a little bit of cohesion hits. Maybe drop this down to something normal now. See what our military control is, where we've got still are decreased in there or lower. We don't have supply through to here yet, so I think we're going to keep banks here to secure Rolla. There's no, I think if we tried to extend ourselves from here, it wouldn't work out well. So we're gonna secure our supply lines. This force up here now is fully supplied. Maybe we will. Asbeth is in some rough shape there. We'll get them back here to where they can get themselves. Straightened out. I think I am going to take the cavalry down here now to scout out Jefferson City so we can get a better idea of what Price has here. Nothing going on here. We've got the Indian stand weighty and some irregular troops here. So these Indians, they're going to use these to come up and start taking these forts. Now the certain structures, that's all of these are called structures in the game, do have an auto garrison thing. I think forts have those to where when you go and attack something, they will automatically generate a 1-regiment militia garrison. So we don't necessarily have to worry about losing those instantly. We do have some garrisons in the important places up here. Let's take a look out here. Nothing again. Oh, what is this? Were you here before? They're still neutral. I don't know if they were there before or not. This unit has not moved. Let's see our unit that was heading down here. Let's see him. Okay, now this is interesting. We've got 8 days left to go, and we've taken a bit of cohesion hits here. So I'm gonna let him come down there, and I think we'll just leave him on defensive and see what happens. Structure is intact here, so I think we're okay. Our where did our, oh, they come in. Oh, they're in Union Detachment right there. That's where they are. There's our pack trains. Okay, so we're gonna, once we secure Southern California, then we'll move these pack trains down here. We may end up having to take Carlton here. He's gonna activate pretty quick. We may have to end up taking him up here to clear out Southern California. This may be a bad idea, moving this unit down. We'll just have to see. Okay, so now let's just go through and do our normal E to see what all we've got going here. Southern Oregon. You know, I might finally decide to do something with that. We'll take them down there. I wonder if doesn't help us. We'll move him down and see how poor he's at. Okay, the Irish Brigade and the Union Brigade. Now some of these brigades, the named brigades, will actually come already combined with a leader. And if you look at this, we can use this minus sign. Now once you do this, you can't put them back together again. But we can use this minus sign to split him off. So I think if we tried to recombine him, we couldn't do it. Oh, we still can. Okay. I don't see any benefit really to. Well, let's look at him from a command standpoint. 5-2 with a 15. If we do combine him, yeah. So it doesn't make any difference whether he's combined or not. So I like to uncombine him when I get those. So okay. Next, we're going to we'll put these down to Washington, and that's the same. That's the same thing that we're going to be able to do to make divisions. We'll do it just like that, combining units with a leader to make them one unit that requires less command points when we're allowed to do that. And we're going to be getting that pretty quickly, I think. So we're going to bring these guys down to Washington. Here's our units in Denver. I think we'll just keep them there. Gallagher's Brigade in Pennsylvania. Conscripts. These are some conscripts we built, I think, maybe even the first turn. I don't know. We'll bring these down here for McClellan to build up for us. Railroad. Bernie here. Was he in the same place? Oh, he was here too, so let's just stick him in there. Boom, those three. And we're going to get those trained up, and that will increase their combat capabilities. California Brigade, which I don't know the story of any of these. Schertz's cavalry. What are we doing here? So we have regained or gained the military control of this now. So I think I'm still just going to leave him here to try to gain more. I do think that helps. So, but we'll see. Butterfield is a complete failure at assaulting this before. We'll give him another shot at it. I think we're going to maybe, what's his rank? He's a 53. We can send Heinzelman or Mansfield. Let's send Heinzelman out here to maybe take over. Actually, we've got so many leaders down here that we could maybe give him a couple more. But we're going to be building up an army in this area anyway, or at least a strong force. Okay. Next, whoops, grabbed him by mistake. We did not want to send. So apparently, once you make an army, a leader, an army, wherever stack he's in becomes the army. So it's attached to the individual rather than the stack. Should have sent Burnside out there. But this will be alright. We've got enough guys going out there now. The army here. In fact, why don't we just kind of make this official and say, McDowell, you're in charge of the supply wagons. It's not your fault. I know that your higher up sent you in where they shouldn't have, but okay, so now we have all of this force here. 354 is his. Oh, I think we had him inside here on purpose. Okay. Next, McDowell, Hurlbut, just going to hang out. Lyon, he's just going to sit here and and gain control of this region. We have a unit here now that's just going to be the garrison of this. So we'll put him on a sentry status. Whoops. Sentry status. There we go. Butler's force. He moved up. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what's going on here. Did we capture it? No, we did not capture it. And we're not besieging it. Oh yeah, we are. You see, it's kind of hard to tell because it's behind the little the icon for the blockade. So they are besieged. Structure is intact, which means there are no breaches. We just have a small, probably a militia unit. I don't see anybody coming down to tell us otherwise, so we're going to have Butler. He's got the hated occupant, the same ability that Fremont does. So we're going to have him try to take James City, Virginia here. Next we have Halleck in his unit here. I might as well just go ahead and stick those in there. That's where we're going to get this army built up. These guys really have no combat ability yet, but we'll stick them in there in case his ability lets us do something with it. Leave him here. Those guys. Schurz, Butterfield. Banks is open this turn. Now here's the thought. Maybe that's who we should send over here. What has he got? He has a recruiting officer ability and a slow mover ability, but he is a 3-star general, and we have a large force over there that needs more leadership. So we're going to send Banks to take command in the Harper's Ferry here. Because these people are just things aren't happening like they need to be. So we got to send somebody out there to shake things up. Plus he's very highly he's got connections, you know, so I bet you know, if we'll find that if you put there are something political generals, McClellan's one, those that have high political power, is when you try to remove them from command of an army, it will cost you more in terms of national morale and victory points. Humphreys with his blocking force here, we're just going to keep him there and let him start building up his supply. Or his supply, excuse me, his entrenchments. Stone, the same thing. We're up to level 3 entrenchments now for Stone. Yep. And I think we're good. Yep. All right. Now that this force has been in port during a resupply, or during a supply, pardon me. Have a drink of tea. Now that he's been in supply, or in a port during a supply phase, he's fully resupplied, and we can see that their cohesion is all up again too. So I'm going to stick him right back here. Where'd he go? Cannot be entered or is blocked. I obviously did something wrong. There we go. So we're going to put these guys here again. That's our standard place for those guys, just to keep everybody honest. Our transports are just going to hang here. They're on let's put those on passive. Seminole has arrived with the Pensacola in Hampton Roads. I'm just going to stick those actually in Port Monroe. Into port is what that means. And this force here, it needs to get it needs some rest, especially after that engagement it fought. So we've got to get those. So I'm going to put those same place. We'll combine those up. Excuse me. That is going to break our blockade, but at this point we really don't have a serious blockade going yet anyway. So transports just hanging out there. That's all right. Here's our squadron, or our blockade. 20%. Didn't that say 25% last turn? Something's different. There's our merchant fleet. We never did pick off anything here. Our cohesion went way down. So we're going to get these guys in. We'll put these into port here in Fort Pickens and let them recover. Here's our Gulf Squadron and the Caribbean Squadron. I might as well just combine those now. There's no real need not to. And there's those guys. Farragut. What are we going to do with the Atlantic Fleet? USS Monitor building away. Just going to keep them there until I decide what to do with them. Until we decide to do a naval invasion or a blockade situation. Okay, so that's all of our movement for this turn. Oh, we're out of time. I don't know how far over we've gone. So this is about the same place we always end up. Getting ready to do the production, and then we'll run the turn. So I'm going to save it here, and I will see you next time.